Good Monday to you, everybody. Income 110. Welcome to almost week two. Bam. How's everybody doing? Okay. Now, I'm making this video for you on Monday, and technically, week one doesn't end until the end of today. Okay. And, if you watched my video last week, you know why I end the week Monday night instead of Sunday night, like you may be used to. So don't panic if you think you haven't completed all of the assignments for week one. Week one's not over yet, but let's talk about week two and let's get things started off right with a little coffee. Much better. There, I am where I should be. You're sufficiently caffeinated communication and public speaking instructor. Okay. I've got a lot of questions from a number of folks this week, and I'm going to address them now. And then I'm going to talk about the assignment coming for week two. Now, normally on Monday or Tuesday, I will post the second video in which we review the material from last week. For this week, I will not post the review material for the material from week one until Wednesday. Why? Because if you saw the announcement over the weekend, you have a quiz that is on the readings from week one. You are able to take it up to tomorrow, Tuesday, October 27th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Okay, if you're not sure about the readings and maybe you didn't really give them a lot of attention, don't take the quiz until you review the readings. Okay, be good to yourself. Now, the instructions are very straightforward. There are 15 questions, 30 points possible for the quiz. You have 1 hour to do it. Okay, 2 points question. It's an open book quiz, so you can reference the readings, and the readings are from the Eric Palmer text that's in the Regent Library that I've had you look at. Okay, so I mean, although you could have the text open to review it to take the quiz, what I would like you to do is to make sure that you understand and remember what you read before you start taking the quiz. Okay, all right. So I will post a review video for the readings for last week on Wednesday after the quiz closes. Be sure to take the quiz before the end of Tuesday night. Okay, so back to the question. So a couple of you contacted me and asked me, hey, why don't you post all the material for all the class online all at the same time? Good question. All right. So there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, it may be, I've selected the readings for week by week, and it may be that I'm going to add material week by week to the readings. Because I'm always looking for material that's relevant to what's going on right now and in public speaking. For instance, you'll see, we're going to talk about this in just a second, your first speech assignment. I'm looking at events that are relevant to events in history, literally this week. So I may add some stuff in. And I found that when I post all of the material in advance and then I add things in, oftentimes people miss what I've added in because they sort of look at that week, they go, yeah, okay. And then they jump ahead and they read it and then they don't go back to the module. That's the first reason. The second reason is I really want you focusing on the material that we're doing this particular week as a class. Some of the weeks will have quizzes. Some of the weeks will have discussion questions. And what I want you to do is to be focused on the discussion questions. And at the heart of discussion questions is going to be discussion that is you discussing with your classmates. And if you're off reading, ahead of next week and you just answer the questions, I'm not pointing any fingers at anybody, but it's been my experience that people tend not to be focused on the week that they are in when they're working ahead. And I think that takes away from what we're trying to do, which is get you thinking and discussing and reading and doing about public speaking. All right. Now, look, I understand. There was one of you that emailed me, a rather forceful email. I will add. I'm not going to say who you are. And if you have extenuating circumstances during any given week, please reach out to me. And in fact, the person that sent me the email on Sunday, and I normally don't check my email on Sunday. I work hard to keep the Sabbath, which means staying out of my office and likewise staying disciplined with this, portal into chaos, and staying present with the people that I'm with. And that usually means my wife and or members of my family. But I just happen to, I don't know what moved me. I just happened to pop open the email, and there it was, this very long email about why isn't everything up, and this is causing me a lot of anxiety, and this is the worst class I've ever had, and I paid this much money, and this person is clearly unhappy. Okay, so you know who you are. I reached out to you. I genuinely would like to talk to you and answer your questions. The design of this class is not to either A, make you anxious, or B, make you upset, that C, you're not getting your money's worth. That's not why it's designed. And finally, D, yes, it is designed with a purpose. I've been teaching as a university professor, instructor, without seeming like I'm trying to flex on anybody. I've been teaching longer than most of you have been alive. So not my first rodeo. Anyway, so there's a reason why I'm not dumping all the material online. Okay. Now, if you have extenuating circumstances during the week, if you have something comes up, and I know you're working, and I get all of that, please reach out to me and we can make accommodations for due dates and so on and so forth. And as I said in my first video, that's the important bit, reaching out to me. Don't contact me, after a due date. Go, oh, well, neck rub. I was gonna, but so come on. Let's work together here. Okay. All right. So for those of you that, and I've answered these questions to you directly, but for anybody that was wondering, it hadn't actually sent me a question, I wanted to bring that up. Okay. Let's talk about what you're going to be doing this week when this week starts, which is Tuesday morning. All right. So to wrap up week one, make sure that you're familiar with the readings that were in the module, and then get online into Canvas and take the quiz. A short quiz, 15 questions, right? 2 points a piece, a little 30 point quiz, easy peasy. Okay. This week you will begin, and then by the end of the week plus a day, giving you just a little bit of time in there, you will complete your first recorded speech. So if you go to the modules and you go into week 2, you're going to see, there's the usual suspects. There's the overview. What's the point for this week? What are we doing? Okay. And then there is, the material that I want you to cover. Okay. So you'll see the reading assignments in there. And by the way, week by week, the reading assignments will remain roughly the same. That is the same that you had or less. All right. During each week. Now, I'm not throwing a lot of reading at you, but bear in mind what I'm supposed to be doing, because this is an 8-week instead of a 16-week course. I'm supposed to be giving you double the work, because that's how you could justify getting the same number of credits, 3 in half the time. Okay. And I had a couple of folks saying, whoa, this seems like a lot of reading. Yeah, no, it's not. Okay. So that's just an FYI. Okay. Back to the module. So you'll see the readings. There's a reading. I want you back in the Eric Palmer book, reading part 3. That is chapters 8 through 13. And then I have given you a link to a short piece from a source called the Speakers Lab on how to write a commemorative speech, which is going to be the first speech that you write and give. Okay. The ceremonial speech, or sometimes called commemorative speech. Those terms are often used interchangeably. All right. So in the module, after you read about the sort of overview and then hear the readings, you will also see the assignment. So for this week, I want you focused on two things. After Tuesday, after you complete the quiz, if you haven't taken it already, do the readings, and they're fairly short, and then make sure that you go to the module there for week 2 and look under assignment. All right, and you will find an instructional sheet that outlines one, the sort of the writing, recording, speech assignment in general, and then more importantly, 2, writing and recording your first speech. That is your commemorative or ceremonial speech. Okay. All right. So each of these speeches, there's going to be 4 of them throughout the semester. It's worth 150 points. You can record them on whatever you have. All right. If you have a webcam, use a webcam. If you need to record them on a phone, use a phone. Now, whatever you record them on, let me say a little bit about, because you've read Eric Palmer and you've read a little bit about presentation. All right. And that includes how you're dressed. And by the way, that doesn't always mean being dressed up. I mean, if you were going to give, say, a speech to a group of soldiers deployed in the field, you'd look really weird if you showed up in a tuxedo or, say, in a ballroom gown. People would like, what's this person doing here? So dressed appropriately does not always mean coat and tie, or dress or blouse or pantsuit or whatever it is that you use when you dress up. It means appropriate to what it is you're speaking to. Okay, I just want to make sure that you understood that. Okay, so anyway, for this first speech, the ceremonial or commemorative speech, all right, what you'll find in the sheet, it's actually 2 pages. The first one is, here's how the assignments are going to go. Part of that is you can use a webcam or you can use a cell phone to record it. But just as you would be aware of how you're dressed, be aware of how you are placing your camera to record yourself, right? So if you're using a cell phone, and even if you don't have a tripod, you just got to think outside the box here a little bit, folks. Do not place a cell phone so it's like this, and then I, as the viewer, am looking up your nose for most of your speech. If you don't have a tripod, stack up a pile of books. All right. Quick demonstration. I mean, I have some books to spare, as you may have observed. Stack up a pile of books. Let's just say this is your stack. All right. So you've got, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. Okay. Stack up a pile of books and then offset the top 2, balance your phone and stack it. Well, we don't want to do that. And stack it such that, that's how you get the Spider-Man app. It's just let your phone fall on the floor. And stack it such that your phone is about head, shoulders up height. Or if you have to, sit on the floor, with your back straight. My first in media job was in radio. Way back before I was an undergraduate, even when I was still in high school, I did radio voice work. And that means I would go in and I would record commercials pretending to be somebody that was involved with something or doing something. I played the alcoholic who'd lost everything, and it just started out with a few casual drinks with friends, and then I just, this sort of stuff. All right. One of the phrases used in that business, in audio only, whether it's podcasts, that you can only hear, or things that are broadcast, is media is theater of the mind. All right. You don't have to be doing the things that it seems like you're doing. Just don't let it show through the medium. You understand what I mean? So when I was doing voice work as a broken down alcoholic, I wasn't a broken down alcoholic. I was a 17-year-old high school kid who just happened to have a very deep voice for a 17-year-old high school kid and could sound like a washed up 40-year-old. I mean, hey, it put money in my pocket, which is what I needed. So if you need to stack up books, rest your phone on it. If you need to put a chair on the floor, if you need to put things up on a table and you sit down lower, whatever it is, so you're aware of how you appear to the audience. That's the key. Doesn't matter what the setup is or how you've set it up, so long as the audience doesn't know and they see you in the way that they want to see you. All right. So you can use whatever you like to record it, but please don't. I'm sorry, folks. I love you lots, but I do not want to hear it. If you send me a video that is framed like junk and sounds like junk, I don't want to hear, well, I only had my insert, device. Now, I mean, here's another tip for you. You know what? I've worked a lot in media and presentation and speaking, and one of the tricks of the trade is if there was equipment that was not really super duper, maybe the microphones weren't good or the cameras weren't that good. Okay, hey, don't try to put lipstick on a pig because it's still a pig. If the audio is crappy and it's staticky, great. Turn the recording into, say, an old-timey type of presentation. So make it sound like it's supposed to be bad because it's coming to you from the 1930s, or the 1920s, or the 1910s, or whenever. All right. So I don't want excuses about why this didn't turn out well, et cetera, et cetera. And then last word on how you set up your equipment, whatever it is that you use. Pro tip: never, ever, never begin any presentation with an apology or an excuse. The audience doesn't know, they may not notice, but as soon as you say something, they will notice, and that's what they're going to fixate on, which is unless the point of the speech, the presentation, is to have the audience fixate on the magnitude of the problem that you pointed out to them, unless that's the point of the speech, don't mention it. Okay? So don't want to hear it. All right. Okay. So download the sheet. You can record on any device that you like. All right. Here's the only thing that you can't do. You cannot use PowerPoint or any such like. And PowerPoint is brand. I think it's still Microsoft, isn't it? Okay. So that's like saying, Xerox, meaning copy paper. All right. I don't want it. Right. What should be featured in the speech is you from at least the shoulders up. If you want to make this, full body, which is difficult to pull off. So if it were me, I would not do that, but I'm going to leave the creativity up to you. But the main star of the speech has to be you. You can use as many or as little or none in the way of visual aids as you like. All right. And remember the caveats about visual aids from Palmer's work. All right. And however it is that you record it, and it should be, well lit enough that you can be seen. I mean, right now I have a light that's mounted up above and behind my monitor. So my face is well lit when I make these videos for you. And I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to put see the shadow? Okay. So if the camera that you're using, say on your cell phone, doesn't allow you to lighten it up or doesn't pick up light, take the shade off of a lamp and put the bulb in front of you and bring it closer or back it away till your face is lit. Okay. Anyway, once you've finished recording the video, you must upload it to YouTube. So if you do not have a YouTube channel, and you're going to have to trust me, a YouTube channel is dead simple to get. The only prerequisite that you need to have for a YouTube channel is you need to have a Google account. And if you don't have a Google account, the way you get a Google account is you set up a Gmail. So if you don't know how to set up a Gmail, go to Google and simply Google set up Gmail account and follow the directions. After you do that, open up YouTube or go back to Google and type in how to set up a YouTube account and follow the steps. It's very straightforward. A couple of things, though, to note. When you upload the video, you're going to be asked a series of questions. One is, is this content meant for children? The answer is no, unless, children are going to find your mock commemorative speech absolutely fascinating. And then the other one is you're going to be asked a visibility question. I think in my instructions, I think I called it status, and that's what it used to be called way back in the day. But they changed the interface a little bit. So it'll be visibility. Make sure that you click the radio button that says public, because if you click private, I'm not going to be able to see it. Okay. So once you've uploaded that, you will put that link at the bottom of the speech that you wrote, that you used to give your speech. Now, do you have to read from your speech? No. Now, if it helps you and you're unsure about the delivery of the speech, sure, fine. Take the written speech and lean it up against somewhere where the viewers can't see it. All right. So if you're making that stack of books to balance your phone on, take that speech and let's see. I'm going to just have a blank piece of paper around here because I don't want to tear it out of there. Okay. Here we go. So let's say this is what is this? This is a tracking receipt for something I had to send back. But let's say this is your speech. All right. So the pages. Take it and fold it like that, like this. See? So it'll stand up. See? And do that with the pages. And as you read, maybe you reach forward and the audience doesn't know, and you reach forward and you flip it, and it just falls one sheet, and you read and you read and you read. Okay. The script, that underlines and anchors your speech must be at least 500 words. That's not a lot, actually. That's 2 double space type pages at 12-point font. A maximum of 750. That's 3 pages. So no less than 2, no more than 3. Look, if you come in at like 1 3/4, am I going to ding you a bunch? Probably not. I will suggest to you the most difficult part of this assignment is going to be what to leave out of your speech, not what to put in. All right. Because 2 double space type pages is not a whole lot. All right. Go to the assignment sheet, and what you're going to find there is I've given you 3 historical events. So we're going to make this ceremonial / commemorative about an event rather than a person. I want you to pick just one, select one of the 3. For this assignment, it's your choice. In future assignments, I'm going to be assigning you topics sort of by alphabetical designation. But for this one, it's all up to you. Okay. And then write a script and deliver a speech that covers at least the 3 following, areas, criteria. What was the event? Why did it occur? Okay. And why is this event significant in 2024? That is, why is this worth ceremony? Why is this worth commemoration? I mean, to put it in brief, who the hell cares? Why should we pay any attention to this, to ceremonialize it or to remember it, to commemorate it? That's your job. I'm really looking forward to reading your scripts and, more importantly, watching your speeches. Okay. So that's what we're going to be focusing on for week 2, which doesn't start until Tuesday morning, tomorrow, August 27th. So fear not. You don't have to start any of this. And I give you an extra day. That is, the speech isn't going to be due on Monday. It will be due Tuesday night of next week. That is September 3rd. So if you haven't already, be sure to review the readings from last week. Get into the module for week 1. Take the quiz. Take your time. All right. It's 15 questions. Once you answer a question, no, you can't go back because it's an open book. All right. And you're only going to see one question at a time. That's fair. If you get an open book, all right, you should be able to look at one question at a time and have some certitude of your answer rather than jumping around. Go, oh, wait, I want to change this because I found something else. I'm like, I don't want you studying to the test or the questions. What I want you to do is to study and master the material. All right. So for this week, coming week 2, I will give you some discussion questions, but I'm not going to post them until tomorrow, Tuesday. I want you focusing on the readings from that last week and finishing your quiz. Okay. All right, everybody. Going to be an interesting week. I'm looking forward to what you do. If you have any questions about this, if this is just busting your brain, look at the syllabus. You see my office hours. You know where to find me. Until then, thank you so very, very much. You know I love you. I am invested in your success. God bless you, and I will see you on Canvas. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.